William, welcome back.
What's up?
How was your day?
Chilling.
Chilling, chilling.
Man.
Now, we're changing it up a little bit. We told you guys that we were going to bring you the Raw episode sooner. So here we are. Can't promise you that I'll be every week, but I promise you there'll be some weeks. William, did you watch Raw Netflix?
I watched it the following day. I was too tired to watch it on Monday, but I did
It's
watch
okay.
it the following morning.
So that means it's more fresher for you than me.
Yeah, in a way.
Now, we got one thing right. Jay chose Gunther.
It was a given. I mean, what they really got to do face and face, it was really highly unlikely. But yeah, so there you go. We finally got it. Now he said it himself. I might regret it. I hope he regrets it. I hope that's what happens at Mania. But yeah, so he did go that route after Gunther gave him the beating of his lifetime. So but we'll see.
It kind of sucks for Gunter that I'm like, we finally gonna have a feud for him where it matters. Like we're actually invested now for him to lose. I feel like he's gonna lose.
I mean, they might. Yeah, I feel like it is too. I mean, he's held it not for a year, but almost damn near a year. To the point where he might be able to drop it. Like I see it more as in Cody, whoever he faces, could retain, and Gunther's gonna drop. That's how I'm seeing it. If one of them is gonna drop it, it's gonna be Gunther over Cody.
Yes, yes. If one, yes, exactly. Now, I would say this. This was the weakest Raw since Netflix opened, since it's the Netflix era. I believe this is the weakest Raw.
I agree. I mean, I'm trying to like, even though it's fresh on my mind, I'm trying to think. I'm like, what actually happened on Raw? I'm trying to recap it over through my head. But yeah, I agree. There wasn't many enticing matches. I did read and saw online that Penta performed in the main event, which means before the Raw show, they do like little matches and recaps of last week or whatever. You see it live, and obviously people record it and post it on wherever they might post it. That's where you'll be able to catch it. And that's where Penta wrestled. And apparently George Kittle came out from the fans and helped Penta do whatever he was gonna do. Because George Kittle's a big fan of.
It was a dark match then, but we might not see that one, and that's more like a show for the crowds that are there, because he's scheduled to wrestle next week, and it'll look dumb if they show that as part of the live for the sole reason that Kittle was there. So we know that because Kittle was there, they showed him on TV. Well, we will know that that's from last week, and then that we're not watching it live. So that'll be really dumb.
No, I know for sure that they don't. It's a dark match because even when I saw it live over here, the ring banner says main event. Everything says main event. It doesn't say Raw. It says main event. The ring is different. And then once Raw started, it took everything off and put the Raw banners in the Raw ring. So I know it's gonna be a dark match. So I do know that happened before that episode of Raw, where he fought. I forgot who he fought, or I think it was just George Kittle who came out after he cut a promo, something like that.
Okay. I would say this: the tag team girls. That was a really great match.
Liv Morgan and Raquel versus
Io Sky and I forgot her name. The British chick. Dakota.
Yeah.
Dakota Fanning. So that was a really great match. Fuck, Liv Morgan, she busted open. She was bleeding, and I was like, "Damn, welcome to the PG-14 era."
Yeah, she saw. I mean, I'm not sure. I saw it online where she got stitches like right here.
Yeah.
So I'm sure she won't be wrestling next week. I'm sure that's not like heal in a week, fully heal.
Yep.
But yeah, I saw how. I mean, but that's like, I guess that's what happens when Raquel wants to use her as an object to be beating people up. You know what I mean?
And you can look at the precise moment when it happens. It was the second time around. Not when she's stopping it, sino que when they're standing and she's using them like a columpio, like a swing.
Right. Yeah.
You can tell that when she hits her, Liv Morgan goes like what the fuck, like me dolió, and you can tell that she's in fright mode, like what the fuck just happened. ¿Cómo se llama? And then after that, she hits her again, she drops her, and then you just start seeing him that she's bleeding already. And I'm like, yeah, I'm like, expect to have some if your face is hitting a forehead or a hand, yeah, you're gonna bleed.
Right.
¿Cómo se llama? I don't want to get into the Ray versus Logan. I'm gonna save that because it was the main event and it was amazing. But there was another one where I can talk about that I got mad. So we are getting Raw 2 hours and a half. It looks like we're getting that. We're not gonna get 3 hours. Where it looks bad is that the New Day attacked Rey Mysterio after the match.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they're doing it a thing now where it's like, okay, this is gonna happen, and we're gonna get it across through you guys, as in the fans. The fans are gonna do all the recording for us and posting it online and all that extra stuff. But I agree. I mean, that would have been better televised.
Yeah,
So that for those, because not a lot of people have been posting it, but I did see that, and then I'm obviously blacked out, and then I saw one fan post it, and after that one fan that posted it, I haven't seen anything else about it.
E-
So I'm sorry, I know who comes out to save them and whatnot, but regardless,
and it's kind of dumb because I'm like, okay, well, we're paying. What if I didn't want to pay for Netflix and I'm paying Netflix for Raw? I'm like, and I'm getting this online. I'm like, then what was the point? I'll just go
right,
stream it somewhere else. I'm like, because the whole point is that it's Netflix. It shouldn't be 2 hours and a half. Netflix doesn't have competing channels. Like,
right,
if you guys want to show us that someone in the background, like así como con Cody and The Rock when they did the WrestleMania thing, I'm like, if you want to do it that way, cool. But not that if it's in the ring and don't end it on a blackout. End
right,
the show like Rey Mysterio winning or losing, whatever. End the show, and then you can show us, oh, this happened in the background and
right,
backstage. Do
right,
that.
backstage.
Don't cut it and then let the fans fucking show it. I hated that.
Yeah, I mean, I, I think it's gonna. It's not gonna. It might be a new trend. Again, it's happened twice, three times already. I think. Because I know I know it also happened when they came here. Now it didn't black out like that. What the way here was Cody and CM Punk were faced off face to face, and then the titles came up, and that was it. CM Punk left, and that's when what's his name? Trick,
Kevin
not
Owens
Trick.
or Drew? Drew
No,
or
not
Kevin?
Trick. No, the not Trick Williams, the other one, the one that's on. The Carmelo came out to
Mm,
attack Cody Rhodes, but
okay.
that was already completely off air for you guys. Well, you guys didn't even see that at all.
Yeah.
And then obviously at Bad Blood when Kevin Owens attacked Cody Rhodes in a parking lot. So
And I think those are just Easter eggs for fans that are paying tickets to be there. Like, oh, here's something extra and juicy, whatever it is, right? Because we
right,
don't they don't show that later on in SmackDown. They don't show that unless there's like a leadway into SmackDown.
and do something, yeah.
Yes, into something. Pero sí es algo que me molestó. I was like, that's fucking dumb. I'm like, and if you do it, I'm like, cut fucking, go black before that shit happens so that we don't know it.
Right,
And
yeah,
that's just like an Easter egg for them, right? So the tag team guys, it was an okay match. I'm not gonna like what was it? The War Raiders or Viking Raiders?
yeah. The War Raiders, yeah.
Yeah. Y contra Alpha, no, was American
All
made.
American Made.
It was. I, I'm indifferent. I'm indifferent.
They're underusing American Made with Chad, without Chad.
Hmm.
They're really underusing them, and it's kind of like annoying because really you had Chad over with Alpha Academy, which by the way, American Made is like in a way better suited for wrestling in a way.
Hmm.
But now that you have Chad with American Made, it's like okay, well, it's just gonna be basically L after L after L, and
Yeah,
it's
which
like
is dumb.
yeah, because again, they're built for it, and I did read online, however, with Chad Gable, he's gonna be out for a minute,
Hmm.
but he's seeking permission to go to AAA to buy fight luchadores.
Oh, that's interesting.
That's what I read online. So I mean, if that actually happens, I'm like, well, I mean, in a way, they are merging with not merging, but like working with TNA. I know TNA is working a lot with
Working with other promotions and shit.
yeah,
Because
so that's what might actually happen.
even Eddie Guerrero Jr. Did a podcast interview que le dijeron that he said that he wouldn't mind working at TNA and becoming a champion at TNA and work that circuit. And I was like, okay, I'm like, so you're not just working with NXT now, you're actually working with the actual talent
Yeah.
of Raw and SmackDown. Hablando de Eddie Guerrero Jr., that guy's still over. He's still over.
Oh yeah, no, I saw the heat he still took, and kind of obviously he was trying to talk, and they just weren't letting him. I was like, okay, I thought he was already coming back down, but I guess not. I guess he's still up there.
And then Carlito, in the way he fucking said it in Spanish, I was like, dude, I was like, that was a good one. I'm like, you finally say something cool.
Like
Or
I'm seeing that when it comes down to like, I guess you could say bad words and stuff, they're letting them slide with the Spanish ones.
oh yeah, oh yeah.
A lot of them, obviously not in English, but a lot of the Spanish bad words are letting them slide.
That's why I'm surprised que Penta no dicho su bad word.
No,
Escucha.
no, I think that's just too fucking hard.
But you can switch it up. You instead of saying puta, you can say pinche.
Yeah,
Hijo de
yeah,
tu pinche madre.
yeah.
We're Mexicans, we can change it up. Like there's other words that we can use for insulting.
That is true, and at the same time, I feel like he'll say it one day. They're just waiting for the right moment, because like obviously the right moment could have been day one of Netflix. After that, it's like okay, it's just a lot of basic little things. Like maybe at the Rumble, I could have seen him doing it on Mysterio, but obviously Mysterio they're trying to keep both faces, so like okay, you can't really insult Mysterio, so
Yeah.
let's wait to the right moment with the right heel for you to go ahead and just let it out.
Y como se llama? It was they obviously interrupted AJ. He was doing a speech, and it was I like that he was over. I liked AJ. He's good. I like him as a good guy. I don't like him as a bad guy. He We had a little face off between Braun and him, so I'm like, okay. But you also had a face off with Penta. I'm like, we're setting up feuds. Who do I want to see first? I'm like, I would rather see Penta versus AJ Styles.
Yeah, I mean, I do too. I think I don't think they're gonna go in that direction.
No, they're not.
But I do think that would be a good fight. I mean, matter of fact, if you want to give me that for Mania, I wouldn't mind it.
Yeah.
Now how do you build up to it? That's a whole different story for them to figure out.
Yeah, exactly.
But I know that would be a really good played out match.
Oh yeah. And then one of my colleagues gave me a bright idea, and I was like, I don't know. I mean, I can see it. Does he need it? Not after what I heard from this Monday, Eddie Guerrero Jr. When he got booed. He told me this on Monday morning. So this is before we even saw Eddie Guerrero Jr. booed. And I know that I heard it from some other podcast. So I'll give them props to them for saying that. And I'll give props to this colleague. He told me that we should break up the Liv Morgan, send her off from Judgment Day, do her own thing as a tag team, but have like a breakup with him between him and Dominic. And Dominic say, you know what? I can't be with you no more. I haven't won a championship. You're not winning championship. So it's pointless for us to be together. I'm gonna find me someone that can win me, that can bring me a championship. And then you hear the song, "Excuse Me," and it's Vicky Guerrero.
Vicky. I mean, I did see that on the podcast. Right? I saw it somewhere. And that'll give him even more heat,
Oh yeah.
I did see that. Obviously, when they came, will they ever do that? I don't know. I don't know if Vicky still is around in WWE.
I know that when she quit, or when she said that was it, she said that when she entered WWE is because basically they were telling, ¿cómo te puedo decir? Like when Eddie passed, in a way WWE felt bad, so they needed to keep her with income. So they used her as a character, and then she became her own thing. Not even like Vicky became Vicky. Let's get that shit right. Like Vicky is Vicky, and she didn't need Eddie Guerrero to become Vicky. Vicky's hated, and she's on her own thing. Eddie is Eddie, and he's his own thing. So they both became legends in their own way, right? She was very vocally. She got over Eddie con todo lo demás. So when she said that was it, that was it, that she didn't want to come back and do the touring and all that. But I'm like, if we can do 1 year or 6 months of Vicky and this fool leading up to like a retirement match for Rey Mysterio, that would be full circle.
Okay, yeah, I mean, yeah, you're. I mean, don't get me wrong. I wouldn't mind seeing that happen. I would. That would be like a huge, thing happening. Um, now, what?
I'm thinking about him like, could they even bring out a word if it's both of them together?
I mean, but probably not. I mean, I don't know if they boost the mics when they're booing. To be honest, because I feel like they might be boosting mics, but it's just when I saw it happen to Logan Paul live, I was like, yeah, there's no way they're boosting mics. Like, there's no way. But you're right. I don't know if they would be able to get a word out at all.
And
Now,
honestly, I don't think they're like, because I see other reactions from, okay, for instance, like Gunther. Gunther's a bad guy, and when he gets booed, he doesn't get loud boos.
yeah.
So él no, ¿verdad? ¿Cómo se llama? Who's another bad guy? The American Made y Chad Gable. They're both bad guys, but when they get booed, no se escucha así. So I honestly believe that they're not boosting, because even for Liv Morgan, people hate her and they
Right.
hate the Judgment Day, but they don't get booed like Dominic,
Yeah.
and they sure as hell did not boo like that for Vicky.
Yeah. I mean, it's. I don't. I mean, would it happen? It'd be cool for it to happen. Like, I don't see why not. Like, WWE should really explore that. I mean, I know they did say, I doubt it's her, but I know that Dom did tell Finn like, hey, we need to add a new member to the Judgment Day. But is it her? I highly doubt it. I'm sure it'll be someone else.
I was thinking when he said that, I'm like, who can they? I'm like, that means that JD is gonna be fucking gone the whole year. JD's gone for the whole year. If they're looking for someone else to replace JD, I know that he got three broken ribs and all that. So that means that
Yeah.
guy's gonna be gone for a good solid year. So for another replacement that is active, I don't know, but there might be a someone. I just don't know they will go that direction because it's too soon. But it is a big name, and he just left AEW. And I'm not talking about Malachi Black. I'm talking about Miro, which is Rusev.
Mm, I mean, I don't.
He left WWE as a good guy though. That's the only thing that's a hiccup right there. And Rusev can be the new leader
I, I
or
s-
the muscle.
I saw people saying, even though they're making him a face right now, he's running a face run. But AJ Styles,
I would
um,
like. I would not. I don't know. Would it fit?
because his team got released, got from WWE.
Yeah.
Luke Gallows, I forgot who was the one. They both
Anderson.
got yeah, they both got released. So now it's like, okay, well, they can't run his little faction no more.
Yeah.
So it's like, if we do want to put him in a stable, well, there's the Judgment Day now. He'd be the one to hope the Judgment Day come back and get some wins potentially, because obviously it's not Finn Balor. They give him the L's all the time.
Yeah.
And I know they're going towards the demise of the Judgment Day, where they're gonna eventually breaking up because Finn Balor wants, I guess you could say, he wants to be the leader, but they're not. There's no leaders, and obviously they're
Yeah.
having
I
confrontations
mean,
between him.
it, and it makes sense that, because if we're going that, if Dominic's going to be the leader now, that means that you need to get another bullshit guy, like someone who's not popular. I'm like, but if you go looking for a leader, yeah, in a way you're right, AJ Styles, but I don't want him as a heel. So that's why I was looking. I'm like, he got released. I'm like, we could always go to Aleister Black being the actual guy.
Yeah, I mean, it could. I mean, I
If they
mean, there's not really a lot of other potential
option.
options that you have currently. If you do go that route, you could always go that route. You could always look into NXT, see who you could like promote that's ready for the promotion. Because obviously
Yeah.
JD went from NXT into the Judgment Day
Yes. Yes.
when that happened, But so it could play out like that. In fact, who was this guy who just went to WWE? He got released on Monday from AEW. They announced him. I forgot his name. But he went to NXT. Um,
Okay.
I forgot his name. I just saw him earlier today. Um, but he got released from AEW on Monday, and Tuesday he was at NXT.
Okay.
Like, already signed and everything. He already got announced and everything. But
It-
regardless, like, there's always options that you could go, like, hit the square hand grab somebody from here and just pop him in. Now,
yeah.
will it be a big superstar? Well, no, because he's from NXT.
See, so that's why I'm like, I don't. I mean, I don't see no other bigger. I see big names to carry Judgment Day and releasing Finn to be his own thing. I don't see no one else other than those two guys that got released from AEW. The Miz is over there. Drew McIntyre's over there. Kevin Owens over there. Like anybody who's a bad guy right now, there's no one that can fit for the Judgment Day.
Right.
That's a
Right.
name.
No,
That's a name.
yeah, there really isn't. I can't think of anyone, especially like you said, somebody that big to be able to, like, let's go ahead and plot them in there.
Because I don't know if the Hardys are if they're right now free agents, but you could always bring Matt Hardy as a delete character. Delete
I
with
mean, they're
Judgment.
with TNA.
Are
I know
they?
Jeff is. Matt, I'm not sure.
I mean, because other than that, you would need to borrow someone from. Because I like again, I, I mean, maybe it can be just another random person, and they allow Dominic to be the leader. But why would you want to have a stable that they're just losing? That's what I don't
Yeah,
get.
yeah,
Why have a
exactly.
stable and just lose and lose and lose? Like
Yeah,
it's getting tiring, and that's why people stop caring. Because I'm like, that's all you guys fucking do is just lose.
yeah. They really haven't won anything of significance for a minute.
Yes.
Or a matter of fact, any matches for that matter. You know.
And then going to the main event, not back to the main event. Talking about the main event, I thought it was hilarious that CM Punk did not recognize the new theme, the Logan Paul.
I mean, it's not the first time that it happens because Monday night when they were here, when his music popped to announce that he was entering the Royal Rumble, Seth Rollins was like, "Who's that?"
Yeah, I
And
saw
like
that. It's usually
asking who, Gunther, I think, yeah, asking Gunther like, "Hey, who's that?" And then the finally look and it's Logan Paul, and I was just like, even me, I was like, I don't know who this is. I was like, oh
If I
shit,
man,
it's
I
Logan.
was like, who is this shit? Who is this guy? That
Yeah.
shit was funny.
So I mean, I guess they're still getting used to the music, of his,
What needs to get over también. Like it's not like you're just gonna recognize it because I know that when Cody signed to the WWE, they told him, "Hey, you know that when you come, we want you to keep that song
right?
for to sign." So it is what it is. The match itself, Rey Mysterio versus Logan Paul, it was a great
Yeah,
match.
yeah. I can't
Uh,
take anything away from that match. Honestly, it was really really good.
it was a toda madre for sure. A toda madre. That fight itself, a toda madre. However, is it Logan or is it Ray that made it great?
It's a combination of both. Like, I
That
mean, because
chemistry.
yeah, like we've always admitted, you've admitted it, I've admitted Logan's a great wrestler performer. I mean, his match sucks, but his performance on the ring is really really good. And obviously you have Ray, and it's not the first time they fight alone. This is like the third fight, I think, or fourth
Yes.
maybe. So I already know that if Logan's picking someone to wrestle because, like, hey, we have great chemistry, it's Mysterio.
And I must say this when he cut that promo with Punk, obviously because Punk is probably like goaded when it comes to Mike. I know that he has haters that oh no no. Honestly, he's better than Jay Uso in the mic. He is better than Jay Uso. He's probably better
Who?
than Punk.
Who? Oh
Punk.
yeah, I mean, yeah.
That's because CM Punk has a lot of haters where they don't want to give him his props.
Right.
That's a cosa llama. I'll say this: Logan Paul's little promo, it was decent. Like it was good. And we're okay, okay. Pero like something's missing on his promos. Like something's just missing. Como que you get barbecue chicken and the barbecue's missing.
It's it's I don't know if it's the YouTuber in him that he still doesn't know how to cut promos, and more like he's just used to doing podcasts and YouTube videos to where he's basically just talking to the camera, as to
Hmm.
opposing how to give something enticing, how to give something like give me the humph, in there.
Which is
Like,
fucking crazy because Jake Paul knows how to fucking do promos for his body. But that
but
can be just, and that's not being himself. That's just being a fucking kid that he's like, I'm just gonna be an asshole, and people are gonna buy the pay per view.
yeah, I mean, but there's a huge difference with a press conference and having to cut promo mid match, or not mid match, but like walking up and whatever. Because a press conference, you could easily just plan something. Of what am I say? How am I get under their skin?
Promos are planning.
Well, I'm not saying they're planned, but at the same time, it's like it's in this case, it's the writers writing it out for you. And if you want to add something, hey, is it cool if I add this? And the
Yes,
Jake Paul and Mike, Mike with his fights or whatever, he says whatever he wants because hey, it's my fight, it's my pay per view, I'm doing what I want.
Well, it's true. It's true. I see what you mean because that's what I think when I see Drew McIntyre when he cuts his promos. I'm like, do the other wrestlers know what he's gonna say? Because this fool comes out as an asshole, dude. Like, como cuando dice, Jay, oh, I'm sorry, Big Jim. I can't. You should have said yeet first. I was like, does he know that does he know that it's coming? He funny because Jimmy is actually better at the mic than Jay.
Yeah,
And he's
it's.
better in the ring too. He has more movesets than Jay. Por eso yo me quedo entre mí. I'm like, it's in a way, I feel like Drew McIntyre wasn't wrong when he said you should have said yeet first.
But I feel like he did say yeet first, so at least he wore the shirt first before Jay. But it's I don't know. I don't know if it was because okay, the WrestleMania match happened and then he got like pushed to the side and like okay, let's give Jay the right to stardom and let's
Yeah,
push Jay. As for Jimmy, he just was off screen for a long time up
yeah,
until Bad Blood. Now he's finally back in. But regardless, it's like Drew said, like, hey, you should have said yeet first in a way. I guess yeah, he has a point. He really does, but. Eh, it is what it is, when it comes down to it, I feel like it's really obviously WWE who's gonna always be pushing who they want to push.
yeah.
And it's that simple, no matter how hot you are with the fans or not. I mean, unless if you get the Cody Crybabies or you get the Daniel Bryan's Yes movement, stuff like that.
It's like me for the love of wrestling, the lucha libre. I want Penta to go over, but at the end of the day, it's gonna be the fans who decide that,
Yeah,
not just us, like the people who are buying tickets and all that. Look at Dragon Lee or even Apollo Cruz, amazing in the ring, but they don't have mic work, so they get obscured.
right.
And I'm surprised he wasn't cut. I'm surprised Apollo Cruz wasn't cut.
Yeah, no, he wasn't. I mean, they released a whole bunch. I read somewhere. I don't know if it was a fake article because I didn't really keep up with the releases, but I saw somewhere that Bronson Reed got cut. And I was just
I
like, I don't know if that's legit. I have to look into it to see if it's legit.
If it's legit, I see it because he broke his fucking leg.
Well, I mean, I see that too, but I was like, he was hot as hell. He
What
was
you gonna wait a year?
really. So I mean, in the meantime, well, I mean, yeah, I guess you release him to what to not pay him. Are you gonna send him back when he gets healthy? Like probably not.
They'll probably send him to NXT or the Performance Center to get back on his feet.
Probably,
Yeah,
yeah,
once he's
probably.
better, come back. That's something. That's something que estoy mirando con SmackDown. That now that they have the 3 hours, they're not utilizing bien los promos con everyone. We literally have a 3 hour show, and Shinsuke is not getting any fucking time. And I know that it's supposed to be a Raw recap, but I'm specifically aiming at SmackDown that they're suffering on those 3 hour marks. They're not using it right, and they don't have a lot of people. So I'm
Right.
like, why not use that time to elevate others? Give more fucking talking time for Shinsuke. Give more talking time to fucking El Legado. Give more time for Miz. Where's the fucking Wyatt Six? Same with Raw. You're getting me 2 hours and a half, but there's still wrestlers that don't even get screen time. Look at Braun Breaker. Why is he not wrestling?
Yeah.
Why is he not wrestling? Like, what the
Yeah.
fuck? It's like, why trying to make a feud or something to make him more cool? The guy's a champion and he's not even getting wrestling. The new Intercontinental girl. Yes, she
Well,
had her elimination fight with Bailey. That's a Valkyria, right? Valkyria.
yeah, something like that. Yeah.
She had her amazing fight with Bailey, but she hasn't even defended her belt since she was a champion. Chelsea Green's getting more screen time
Yeah.
with their U.S. title run. I like. There's little shit where they need to fix that is pissing me off and shit. But each to their own. I'm not the one who runs the show. That same guy that told me about Vicky, he told me that he sees a potentially wrestling match for WrestleMania, Eddie Guerrero Jr. versus Penta. If because of what I told him, that me and you were saying que Rey Mysterio for Penta at Backlash because it's gonna be in Mexico. So because he said, "Oh, why not Rey Mysterio at WrestleMania?" I'm like, "Oh, I think they're saving it for Mexico." And then I was like, "That's what we're thinking." I'm like, "Is Penta gonna miss at WrestleMania?" So he told me Dominic versus Penta at WrestleMania. What do you think about that?
Uh, I could see it. I mean, like I told you when he was doing his little conferences before the Rumble, talking
Yeah,
mad about Penta, But
that shit was funny.
will it happen at Mania? I don't think so. I think they'll have something bigger for Penta, because
Really?
obviously the last Mania for Mysterio was a random tag match with him and Santos, I believe,
Mhm.
versus Rey Mysterio and I forgot who. Um, and before that was obviously his one-on-one with Mysterio where he lost.
Yes.
Pero so it was for Penta. Obviously, I feel like they're like, okay, hey, we're keeping you on the pedestal. We're gonna be getting that push of mid Carter or whatever it might be. So I know that they might give him something bigger for Mania, something like what they're leading with the feud of Chad Gable, like I need to find luchador or whatever,
That's what I
like
was gonna
something like
go to. Unless we get a rematch, Chad Gable versus Penta,
Penta.
give him more, pues dale más screen
Right.
time and all that. Yeah, because if you want to go for bigger, um, a triple threat between Pete Dunne and Ludwig and him.
Uh, maybe, but because I know that obviously they're building that feud of Penta and Ludwig, they're building it, but I don't see that feud going all the way to Mania. I feel like it's
Yeah.
too far out.
It's because I don't see nothing that is set in stone for Penta. I know that we're 8 weeks away, but I don't see nothing set in stone for Penta at WrestleMania at the moment. So we have to think about that. We still have to think about what is Ray gonna get at WrestleMania. We also have to think about AJ Styles because I was thinking, I'm like, what if we actually get CM Punk versus Logan Paul at WrestleMania? I don't know if
Versus who?
Punk would be fucking pissed about that shit because
You
he
said
did say
Versus Logan Paul. You said
yes because Logan Paul dissed him back. He's like, "Oh, you keep calling me a YouTuber." I was he like because you know how CM Punk, Leo, Kevin Owens. I haven't lost to a YouTuber,
right? Yeah.
so that can kind of set him up, and that would be a great match because of the way that this fool can work with Logan Paul. Logan Paul being so athletic, but I don't know if I want that. I don't know if I
I
want that for CM Punk.
don't think that'll happen because even though obviously CM Punk did say that to Kevin Owens, you already have the one up with Logan Paul eliminating CM Punk in the Rumble.
Yes, I mean that's
Now, they're obviously my theory with the Elimination Chamber when I said last week was that the whole hey, this is kind of how it's gonna play out. Pretty sure it'll be CM Punk who pins out Logan Paul. Pero I don't think they'll face off a Mania because the way I see it is like, hey, CM Punk is getting older. You don't give him the title now. Like, when are you gonna give it to him? Because at this point, he's gonna get older, more injury prone, and it's like he's gonna have to have it. If you want him to be a champion, he kind of needs
yeah.
it now before it gets even later on.
And then of course we're looking at the SmackDown side of like who's going into WrestleMania from on that side. We don't know if Randy's coming back, and I'm pretty sure Randy wants to come back for WrestleMania. ¿Cómo se llama? We got Drew. We're gonna for sure get that with Priest, most likely. ¿Cómo se llama? Y we also have to think about Jim, Big Jim. We have to think about LA Knight. We have to think about Roman Reigns. Well, actually, that's Seth. That's fucking Seth.
Yeah.
No question, Seth. That's Seth. So everything's falling into place, but there's still some bigger names that we haven't touched on. Like I said, Braun Breaker is a champion, as not getting screen time. Shinsuke is not getting screen time. The tag team champions at Raw are not getting much screen time. Pero los de SmackDown sí. So I have a feeling that we're gonna get a what's it called, a 4x4, two versus two versus two versus two versus two at WrestleMania from the SmackDown side.
Well, I mean, even what's his name, A Town Under.
Yes.
Even them, they are supposedly in Raw, and they're not really in Raw. They're in NXT right now. So I'm just like, and I already know where they're heading with that. I believe by Mania they're done, as in like they're fighting each other. Because
Yes. Yes.
that's night they ever started
But
roasting each other.
I don't feel that should be a WrestleMania match.
Why?
Because you got to save the big for the big. Like for instance, if you put a spot for them, that means you have to remove another guy from there. You have two nights, but
Yeah.
majority of the times, what I've been watching the last three pay-per-views, that they're only doing like 6 matches per pay-per-view because they want to give them more time to flesh it out. So if we're giving them 6 fights or 7 fights, let's say Saturday night, who's gonna leave behind? Is Sheamus gonna fight Braun Breaker? Is Braun Breaker gonna get a match? We have AJ Styles. Like that, it's too many things for them to waste a fight on two little guys.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of true. Yeah, because I mean, it would be more something different where they're building it up to that, but they have to really push it because obviously they don't really push these guys. Like, yeah, they're a great heel tag, but they really don't get any much screen time. To be honest, they haven't
I, w-
gotten screen time in
I
a
would say
while.
save it for backlash. I would say save it for backlash.
Yeah, or just a Saturday night main event. Because
I
I think
mean,
there's like
oh
one
yeah, I
more.
forgot about that. I forgot about that. Also, también when it comes to WrestleMania, are we gonna get the bloodline going? Are they gone? Because we're gonna get Solo Elimination Chamber versus Cody. I can bet you that. I'm like, so
Mhm.
there's a lot of things where I'm like, I would not want to see that as my WrestleMania. Like, I would not pay the $80 or the $10, the $12 to see them at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
That's where I'm going at. But other than that, that Raw recap, it was a good one. They can get better. Hopefully, they can fix all those little bullshits that I was talking about.
I mean, as long as they don't do it too often, I'm okay with it. Again, we will always see it on TikTok. You will always see something on there.
Yes, and
But as long as they don't do it too often.
and I'll add this. So far, all the main events for Raw have been really good. Like I think out of the four that have been on Netflix, three have been a toda madre. The Finn Balor was a toda madre. This week was a toda madre. The CM Punk versus Sami Zayn was a toda madre, and the CM Punk versus Rollins was a toda madre. So their main events have been hitting. The rest of the cards, we need to add more things so that we can get like almost a perfect show every week.
I believe next Monday it should be Seth and Finn closing it out. So I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a good match.
Yeah, pretty sure. So we'll see what's up. Other than that, you have a good night, good morning, and a good evening.